Hey, you're listening to Anywhere But Here, where we dream with our ears and go anywhere but here. I'm Raquel, and welcome to my new podcast. I've been trying to start this podcast for months now and was waiting for the right time to start, and I was kind of procrastinating. Well, now's the time, being that self-isolation continues in the state of New York, which is where I'm from. The only issue is this was supposed to be a travel podcast. So with the current events, I'm switching it up, and it's going to be a lifestyle and travel podcast with an emphasis on lifestyle for the time being. So let's chill and dream about being anywhere but being stuck at home, because I know we all want to go outside. This is editing Raquel here from the future. I just want to apologize for the audio in advance. It's going to sound splotchy in certain parts, so please ignore that and just enjoy the podcast. So, a little introduction to myself and the podcast. I'm Raquel, I'm a Taurus, for those people into astrology, which I kind of am, but don't worry, this podcast is not focused on astrology, unfortunately. I graduated college in 2018, and I actually had a tiny segment on the campus radio station called Anywhere But Here, which was a travel segment, aka my inspiration for this podcast. The year after I graduated, I got the hell out of my campus and traveled to a bunch of different countries I always dreamed about visiting. My goal is to visit all the continents, all the countries, but we gotta be realistic, so it'll be a slow process for me. But for the time being, I'm a 24-year-old trying to navigate life. Some people have it figured out right after college. For me, not so much. Honestly, I still feel like I'm 18 most of the time, which to me isn't a bad thing. I just want to be real with you all and share my travels and how everyone can travel. So this podcast will help you figure out how to travel by yourself, how to travel with friends, how to travel on a budget, how to, just anything that you might want to know and need to hear about traveling. Because I've done a lot of research and I just want to help anyone that needs help and get the word across, because traveling isn't hard, but in an age where Instagram travel is like all over the place, I just want to make it easy and accessible to everyone. But by no means am I a travel expert. I'm just a 24-year-old girl trying to give you some tips and tricks that I've learned through a lot of research and just experience. Honestly, every aspect of travel is just a dream for me. I love taking off. I love being in an airplane. Airplane food sucks, but there's hacks for that, like bringing your own food, which you can do, don't worry. But since it's not a great time to talk about travel, I'm just going to focus on lifestyle and what I've been doing through quarantine and just other goals of mine, I guess, because no one wants to hear about the virus and quarantine. I know I'm kind of tired of all the negativity. So we'll be covering just random topics and stuff like that you might want to hear. So if you have any things you want me to talk about, list it down below, please. I feel like every day I've been texting my friends or someone that I'm bored and asking for suggestions on what to do, what to watch, etc. And just to share what's on my list, because I know that's one of my first things. I always ask what I should watch. I have The Tiger King on my list, which I know I'm so behind in watching, but honestly I've just been putting it off. I don't really know if I'm gonna like the series. I don't know. We'll see if I end up watching it, but that's on my list. I was watching Riverdale. I kind of want to see Ozark. I've been hearing a lot about it recently. New Girl, which I've never seen. Just a bunch of different shows, a bunch of different old ones especially. People keep telling me to watch. I like to watch classics like That 70s Show, which is my all-time favorite show. Don't know why, it just resonates with me. Parks and Recreation, The Office, classics. But besides that, I've been playing games with my family, one of which my favorite is Clue. And people always ask me if I'm actually that bored that I have to play board games with my family. But honestly, I just love playing games. I think I'm a little competitive in that way, and I usually win, so yeah, I'm definitely competitive. I don't know, people act like board games are their last resort. I just post pictures and people always comment that, and I'm just like, no, it's my favorite. Thinking about what I've been doing in quarantine, I feel like I have no clue, and I feel like a lot of people say that, but maybe I'll have more for next week. But in regards to what I want for this podcast to be, I'm just gonna be real honest again. Eventually I want to talk about travel when it's not like forbidden, and maybe talk about things that's going on in life. Anything that I feel like would help people get through, especially if you're like post-grad, if you just want to hear about my life. I like watching vlogs and listening to the podcasts, so why not add to the enjoyment for others? And I'm just going to take it week by week and see where it goes. Hopefully you guys will join me on this adventure. So that's it for this week. I figured I'd keep it short and leave it at just a little introduction. Stay tuned, next week will be my first episode, and I hope you all will join me on this little adventure of mine. Catch me up on my socials listed down below, and I'll see you next week. Bye!